got a whole lot of cuteness in about like 3 seconds. Please welcome JB Campbell, also known as Jace Wayland, and Robert Sheehan, Simon Lewis from the Mortal Instrument. Hello, hello. Yay! You don't look so scary in person, Mr. James.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I let you down?
Good to see you guys. Welcome back to Toronto. This is your second home, seeing as you shot the film here.
We did.
We did. We were here for 3 months last year, weren't we? Pretty much.
Yeah. I was here for like 4.5. Yeah.
But it's masquerading as a modern Manhattan, right? Because the film takes place in modern New York City.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's see a little bit, because we're doing all this talking. There is love and war. There is romance. There is demon slaying. It really is the makings of every great story. I think that's why the books have done so well and why this is going to be a bona fide blockbuster. Do you think this is going to fill the appetite or the void where Twilight left off?
Well, I think so, but in a very kind of unique sense. You know, I mean, what's lovely about the books, I find, is that there's a very kind of irreverent tone with these characters, these very real characters, who even the very magical characters kind of digest this very magical world in a very young person, irreverent kind of way, you know, and so you get these very intense bouts of kind of serious adventure and drama, you know, put right beside very comedic moments, and so you get this intensive but very quite funny tone, you know. So I think it's gonna strike out as a unique piece, very much on its own.
For sure. And talk to us about Jay's. Congratulations. I mean, we've seen you in so many great films, but you get to carry this. Was it a lot of pressure for you? Or
yeah,
were you just excited?
It was a huge amount of pressure. I mean, this has been in the works for me for 2.5 years now. So it's great to finally sort of get it out there. But there was a lot of pressure. I mean, you know, the fans of the books are, you know, fanatical about the character. They love him and they love Clary. They love all the characters. So, of course, you know, anyone sort of taking on that role, they have to sort of try and please everybody, which, you know, you can't necessarily do. But I worked, you know, really hard on it, and I trained for 4.5 months prior to shooting. And
what kind of training? Like sparring and? Yeah,
I did sparring. I did Krav Maga. I did circuit training. I mean, I was kind of out of shape when I got the role, so I had to really like man up, I suppose. So you know, now I'm just sort of keeping that ticking over. But I was out here a month and a half before we started shooting with the stunt guys. You know, just training and learning how to basically just kick butt.
And my training mainly involved sleeping, sleeping for those 2 hours while these guys were up kicking ass and doing stunt choreography.
You got the coast.
Yeah, and then I would get up, put some clothes on, and come to work. And that was essentially, you know, the discipline that I kind of...
Well, he's incredibly disciplined. He does it well.
You had to master a new accent, yes?
That's true, yeah,
That's
I did.
Tough.
It was, you know, it's good. I mean, I took the opportunity to just kind of stay in somewhat of an American accent for the whole time, so that I wasn't shifting back and forth between my own very Irish drawl and an American kind of general accent, so that I didn't mess it up, basically.
And I love that you guys say this was very much a bonding film, because you're around, you know, one another all the time. Kevin Zegers, who we love, he was on the show recently.
Kevy.
Right? Isn't he a
He's a local, yeah.
Morning, Kevy. He is
Morning,
a local.
He's on a radio show right now. I just spoke to him.
He really, yeah, he is. You're right. Razamoka, it's our sister station. So good morning to all of them. What's it like now that you're together again touring? Does it feel like family reunited?
Yeah, I mean, like, we came back and we did reshoots here in January and February, and then like I've been with the guys basically since then, so we haven't really like sort of had much time apart, which has been great. And when we are apart, like I speak to Kevin most days, and you know, he is basically like my brother, and so you know, it's great that we get to travel. And once this is done, once the tour is done for the movie, we go back and shoot the second one here.
And you guys are guaranteed, and you're locked in, and you're going to be around here. So how does it feel knowing you're on the cusp of all of this? Like, you're going to be in people's lockers and you're going to be, you know, posted on their bedroom walls. Is that all sinking in?
It's sunk in. There was 2 things we did recently, which I was involved in. First was Comic-Con, and that was the first time I saw some of the hysteria, you know, firsthand. And then recently we were in a mall in Glendale, and they were kind of set up in a stage in an open plaza area, and there was about 1,200 screaming, weeping teenagers, and just thought, you know, wow, there's a hysteria following this film and following
This is just the beginning. The demons are so scary looking in this thing. Was it a lot of CGI? Were you screaming at nothing? How does that work?
There wasn't much
Or fighting at nothing?
I scream at nothing all
I
the
scream
time.
at nothing all the time too.
That's your own problem, though. We'll talk about that later. There wasn't much. I mean, I think the most amount of CGI that happened is there's a particular scene involving yourself, Lily, Jemima, and the werewolves, and you guys had to sort of bust round what the tennis balls on sticks, right?
Those pesky tennis balls on sticks.
There was like, just to give the movie magic away, but there was demonic forces frozen, and so they set up like a tennis ball obstacle course, which was
Dodgeball.
all the characters had to kind of duck through underneath.
See?
And it was quite hilarious at the
But
time.
that's
you
really
know.
about the most amount of CGI as there is in the movie. Like
That's awesome.
everything else that you see is pretty much live action. I mean, like there's only one piece of wire work in the movie. We did all the stunts ourselves. Like we really Harold, our director, was very adamant that as much as we could do and as much as that he could make real
absolutely,
as possible would be the best.
It
And
looks
it even
incredible,
translates.
guys. Honestly, I could talk to them all day. We've run out of time, but you're going to have to come back. Jamie and Robert, check them out. It's called The Mortal Instruments City of Bones, in theaters everywhere August 21st. Go to themortalinstrumentsmovie.com. Follow them on Twitter at Jamie Bauer and at Rob M. Sheehan for more. And we're going to see you around town, so you have no excuse but to come visit, especially you, because you're sleeping half the time.